Hello students, today we are going to study 10th Science A, third chapter, Chemical Reactions and Equations. So let's see the topic. So in chemical reactions, so before starting chemical reactions, we have to study two types of changes that takes place. So mainly there are two types of changes, physical changes and the chemical changes. So the changes in which the change is the permanent, then it is called the chemical change, and when change is not permanent, then it is the physical change. So see here, in chemical reactions, so some of the scientists of 18th and 19th century carried out fundamental experiments on chemical reactions. So they prove from their experiment that during chemical reactions composition of matter changes and that change remain permanent. On the contrary, during physical change only the state of matter changes, and this change is often temporary in nature. So from this we can understand there are two types of changes, physical change and chemical change. So physical change is temporary change and chemical change is permanent change. So in the next chart is given, so from that chart we can see the some examples of physical change and some examples of chemical change. So see first two examples, transformation of ice into water. So if we see this type of change, so transformation of ice into water, so this type of change is physical change because the change takes place is only change in the state of matter. For example, here ice into water, so we can see uh, conversion of ice into water. So from this conversion we can convert this reverse direction, so we can convert water into again ice. So this type of change the which is temporary change, and that temporary type of change is called as the physical change. Now consider second example, that is cooking of food. Now in case of cooking of food, if we cook a certain food, then we cannot reverse that process, and therefore this cooking of food is the chemical type of change. So thus we understand the two examples of physical and chemical change. Conversion of ice into water is physical change, and the cooking of food is chemical change. Some more examples are given, so try to find out that changes either physical or chemical changes. Then activity is given for you, some of activities, so total 5 activities are given. So try that activities at your own and try to complete this chart also, so related with the physical and chemical change. Then next point is the chemical equation. So now the chemical equations. So in the activity second, a colorless solution of zinc sulfate is formed on addition of zinc dust to the blue solution of copper sulfate. This chemical reaction can be written in brief as follows. So here in above, the second activity is here. So in second activity, add zinc dust into copper sulfate solution. So copper sulfate solution is the blue colored solution, and we have to add zinc dust in the copper sulfate solution. So in this activity we can write the equation of this activity as the aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust, and it gives the aqueous solution of zinc sulfate now and plus copper. So thus we get, we can write the equation in words: aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust, and it gives aqueous solution of zinc sulfate plus copper. So this is simple way of representing a chemical reaction in words, and therefore it is called as the word equation. Word equation can be written in further condensed form by using the chemical formulas like this. So chemical formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4, zinc, Zn, and for zinc sulfate it is ZnSO4, and for copper it is Cu. So by using the chemical formulas we write above equation. So copper sulfate, that is CuSO4 plus zinc Zn, gives ZnSO4 plus copper. So the representation of chemical reaction in a condensed form using chemical formulae is called as the chemical equation. So representation of the chemical reaction in the condensed form by using chemical formulas is called as the chemical equation. So thus we can write the equations of any reaction. Okay. Then next point is writing a balanced chemical equation. So for writing a chemical equation there are certain rules. We have to see one by one. So see the conventions for writing the chemical equation. So the first rule is, in a chemical equation reactants are written on the left hand side while the products on the right hand side. An arrow heading towards the product is drawn between them. This arrow indicates the direction of reaction. So from this first rule we can see this first rule related with the reactant and product. So any chemical reaction is written by using a forward direction arrow, and towards the left side of this arrow the reactants are present towards left side and products are present towards the right hand side, and the direction of arrow indicate the direction of reaction, that is reaction takes place from reactant to the product. So this is first convention or first rule, that is reactant are towards left hand side and products are towards right hand side. Then second, if reactants or products are two or more, they are linked with plus sign in between them. For example, in equation 2 a plus sign is drawn between the reactants CuSO4 and Zn. Similarly, plus sign is drawn between products ZnSO4 and Cu. So if reactants and products are more than 2, then 2 or more than 2, then they are separated by writing a plus sign between them. So in above example we seen that here in the reactant side two reactants are there, copper sulfate, that is CuSO4 and Zn. So we write them by separating plus sign. So CuSO4 plus Zn. Same is about the product. If products are also two or more, then write plus sign between them. So this is second rule. Then third rule, to make chemical equation more informative, the physical states of reactants are indicated in the equation. Their gaseous, liquid and solid states are indicated by writing the letters small g, small l and small s respectively in the brackets. Moreover, if the product is gaseous, instead of G it can be indicated by an arrow. So if reactants are in physical state, in solid, liquid or gas, their physical state is written in a bracket with small letters. For gas small g, for liquid small l and for solid small s. And if product is gaseous, then instead of writing that symbols we can draw a vertical arrow in front of that product like this in vertical direction. So this vertical directed arrow indicate the product is gas. Then A product formed is insoluble solid in the form of precipitate, then instead of solid it can be indicated by pointing downward arrow. When reactants and products are in the form of solution in water, they are said to be present in aqueous state, and this state is indicated by putting the letters AQ in bracket after their formula. Thus, equation 2 is written as equation 3 shown below. So, if one of the product is a precipitate, then instead of upward arrow we have to write downward arrow, and if the reactant or product are aqueous solutions in water, then we have to write in bracket AQ, small aq for aqueous, and that aqueous means their solution is prepared in water. So see the example here. Here copper sulfate plus zinc. So copper sulfate is solution prepared in water. So copper sulfate aqueous is written, plus zinc. Zinc is present in solid state. So state of zinc is solid, gives ZnSO4 aqueous, that is zinc sulfate solution we get in aqueous form. So ZnSO4 aqueous and plus copper again in solid state. So for copper S, small s in bracket for solid state. So this is rule number 3. Then next rule, fourth number, when heat is to be given from outside to bring about a reaction, it is indicated by the sign triangle written above the arrow that indicates the direction of reaction. For example, the reaction in which slaked lime is formed on heating limestone is written as follows. So when we have to indicate the heat is given in the reaction or heat is supplied to the reactant, then that heat is indicated by writing a small triangle on the arrow. That arrow represents the direction of reaction. So see the reaction. Here CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate in solid form, gives calcium oxide and plus carbon dioxide, and this reaction takes place by supplying heat, and therefore we write a triangle on the arrow. So that arrow indicate the heat, triangle indicate the heat present on the arrow. Similarly, the fact that heat is released during the reaction between aqueous solution of copper sulfate and zinc dust is indicated as follows. Now when heat is the product, now heat is given by the reaction as a product, then that heat is indicated or written towards the right hand side after the products. So example is here copper sulfate plus zinc gives ZnSO4 plus copper and plus heat. So that indicate heat is liberated from the reaction, not accepted. Then fifth rule is it is necessary to fulfill certain conditions like specific temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. to bring about some reactions. These conditions are indicated below or above the arrow indicating direction of reaction. For example, the reaction of vegetable oil takes place at temperature of 60 degree with hydrogen gas in presence of nickel catalyst is written as follows. So there are certain conditions of reaction, that is condition of temperature, pressure or catalyst. So that conditions we have to write on the arrow. So here the reaction between vegetable oil and the hydrogen gas takes place at temperature 60 degree and in presence of catalyst nickel. So we have to write that conditions on the arrow. So temperature is 60 degree Celsius and catalyst is nickel catalyst. So that two conditions are written on the arrow. Then sixth rule is special information or names of reactant or product are written below their formulae. For example, copper on reaction with concentrated nitric acid gives a reddish colored poisonous nitrogen dioxide gas. So some special informations or names of reactant and product that are written below their corresponding formulas. For example is copper plus nitric acid HNO3. So this nitric acid is concentrated nitric acid. So concentrated is written below the nitric acid. So this is the special condition or special information related with nitric acid, that nitric acid is concentrated nitric acid. Okay, similarly one more example is there. Now copper and plus nitric acid, but now this nitric acid is dilute acid, so dilute is written below the nitric acid, and the product is, instead of nitrogen dioxide, here nitric oxide is the product, that is NO, nitric oxide, and if there is NO2 then it is nitrogen dioxide. So these are special conditions for nitric acid and dilute nitric acid and concentrated nitric acid, so that is written below their formulas. Also names of reactants and products are also written below their chemical formulas. Okay, so these are certain conventions to write the chemical equations. So thus we study the conventions of chemical equations or writing the chemical equations. Then we see about chemical equations, the physical and chemical changes. So thus in this first lecture we studied about chemical reactions. There are two types of changes, chemical changes and physical changes. Then what is meant by chemical equation, how to write chemical equations, and then the some rules of writing chemical equations. So we'll stop here. We'll continue next topic in the next lecture. Thank you.